What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Down Around Net podcast.
Keep that in.
Scott Butterbeaks.
Get strong.
Episode 8 is live from Connecticut in our hotel/motel. What are we in? Ridgeway?
It's not a nice one. Not a nice hotel.
Ridge Wallet? Where are we?
Something.
We're in a motel.
Definitely a motel. It says hotel with breakfast and amenities.
Hartford?
Guilford. Good try, though.
No, I think we're in Hartford.
We're in Guilford, Connecticut.
No, I know that.
Branford, possibly. Here for the Ethan Song tournament. We're just got together. We figured if we're all here, why not record something? Make some magic.
Absolutely. You guys have seen Mr. Mike Garrett before on the podcast, the one we recorded in the Caribbean. He's back. If you have seen him lately, you probably saw him on Noah Vassington's stream from Long Island, clutching up and taking down a couple of players from Northeastern. Was fantastic, and you now are known in the Roundnet community as Mr. Clutch. Are you happy with that nickname?
Who gave him that nickname?
I don't think I have that.
I've
nickname.
never heard that before.
I don't think I have that nickname, but it's cool. It's a cool one.
You enjoy it?
I would enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we trademark it now. We brought Mike on because why not? We're all here. We're sharing a room together. He wanted to get back on the pod. We have the setup. We have just like we're cruising right now. We had an episode drop today, and we're just sort of feeling invigorated, feeling ready to go. So why not just buzz a little bit and keep cruising? So we have the tournament tomorrow. Matt and I talked a little bit about it. We'll talk a little bit about like normal life and Lemon, all things Lemon. But how are you feeling going into tomorrow's tournament?
I'm feeling good. Feeling excited. Ideally, I'd be asleep right now, but I'm not, so that's one drawback. Other than that, I'm feeling good. What about you, Matt?
For the record, it's only 8 p.m.
That's not true.
And
it's not. No,
this
it's
guy
not.
is just a geezer. He needs to go to bed. Did you get your oats before bed today?
No, I didn't. It's a little grumpy.
No, I feel good. I feel really good going to the tournament tomorrow.
We're playing together.
Yeah,
by the way.
chemistry's going to be off the charts, especially after tonight.
Yeah.
Cuddling in bed after this and just...
Because you weren't panicking about our chemistry 2 days ago.
No.
At all.
No.
Pickup's different.
What I wanted to say is I have this clip that I'm working on where it's them talking and Matt talking on the pod. The one we recorded last week about being excited to play with Mike and their defensive cohesion. And then tonight I'm going to take a few clips. And then I have a great clip from our pickup this week where Matt is after a game. He's like, hey, can I play the next one with Gabe? Mike and I just aren't working.
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes
great.
you just need a break.
Yeah, and then you started playing good.
I played phenomenal.
Remember
Acing the crap
Remember
out
how
of
to
it.
serve, yeah. I think that was just Josh.
No, that'll happen tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Ryan Paul, watch out.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
Coming for him.
I'm glad matchup in pool play.
Yes, sir.
Did you say he picked up his serves against me?
Both of you.
He hit Matt hits his 5 percentile serves against me.
Oh, he did.
He
I think
hit
a lot of
some
people hit
dumb serves, bro.
I think a lot of people hit their dumb serves against
Dummy
you.
serves.
Yeah,
Dummy
remember
wide,
that step
son.
that
No,
step
the
wide lefty?
The lefty was good.
Yeah, I think that you got me by like probably 7 to 9 feet.
And then you also reversed.
I do that. I do reverse you, yeah.
Yeah, that only happened once though. I've never seen it before.
I'm not a serve baller.
Yeah.
So it's quite embarrassing for you guys, actually.
a little bit, yeah.
The off-season grind for you, Matt, if you can uptick the serve velocity, pressure, consistency, and creativity, I think that's the next step for you.
Game over.
Yeah.
Coming
Absolutely.
hot next season.
Absolutely. We have this room set right now to 64 degrees, so I
If you
think
heard
the
the
fan
AC.
just kicked on a little bit, but it's a little loud.
That's what we
So
got
we're
going
going
on.
to suffer a little bit of uncomfortability so that we don't have the echo in the
For
air.
the pod.
For the pod.
I agree.
For the pod.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, Mike, how was your week? What'd you do this week?
My-
Not Roundnet related.
Worked, and I worked out.
Sick.
Pretty much. That's about it.
That's it.
And I got my car fixed at the shop.
There you go. What was
Yeah.
wrong with it?
I needed a new exhaust.
Ooh,
Whole
a
system.
couple $100.
$391.
It's not bad. It's not
Yeah.
bad. What about you, Josh? What'd you
So
do this
exact.
week?
This week, just worked a regular work week. Played pickup one day, recorded a pod one night. And then my fiance and I last night went down to Ocean City and had dinner and was
I saw that in
on the
your story.
boardwalk.
Saw that too.
And then we're on the beach for the sunset. And yeah, dude, it's one of our favorite
It's just
places to
cute.
be.
So
yeah, it
cute.
was a cutie pie pick.
We actually got together on Wednesday night. Had a pretty late night. Us three and Mr. Funaki
Yes.
just chatting it up, getting some pizza after pickup. And yeah, dude, bonds are fire after that night, dude.
Yes.
Dude, for sure. And like, if we would have just been recording the whole time we sat there and chopped it up,
Would have been gold.
it would have been gold. Now maybe we wouldn't got as crafty or like
We
maybe
definitely
we
wouldn't
would have
have
toned it back a
We
little
would not
bit.
have,
Some
like,
places.
trash people as much.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Sure.
But that pod would have been electric. We're gonna have Mr. Funaki on the pod here soon. He was supposed to come tonight and hop on for a little bit, but turned out he had to go pick up his partner for the tournament. His partner, he's playing with Mr. Taylor Church. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
Mr.
Taylor
Church doesn't fly until 11:30 tonight.
Mr. Church flies in at 11:30, which is late for him because he's 43 years old. He's still elite, but he's 43. So I'm really looking forward to see how he does tomorrow in the tournament with Gabe in the geriatric division. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm 32, so I'm old too. But yeah, I heard he's really good. I'm looking forward to seeing him play live.
It'll be fire. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes. We'll play them tomorrow morning, actually.
Yeah, we got them in pool play.
Should
Bright
be
and
fun.
early
Yeah.
while they're loosening it up.
Love caking Gabe's aces, or Gabe's
All day.
serves, I mean.
All day.
Aces, so, should be fun.
In a tournament, Gabe doesn't serve like pickups. We're easy.
No. No.
I'm a pool play warrior against Gabe.
You are?
Yeah, me and Lorna took down Gabe and Sarah in Philly co-ed
Okay.
in pool play, and then they went and won the pitcher.
Yeah, how did that happen? I remember seeing that, and I was, like,
Just
kind of shocked.
one team's better than the other, you know.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
You just gotta
Skill
go and
happens.
mess up the storylines.
Yeah.
Mess up bracket, get all the pros mad at you.
How Lorna playing that one?
Good.
Good.
Lorna's serve receive is out of this world.
Really?
It's actually insane. She's got really good side-to-side agility.
Okay.
I hope that she's extra agile because Lorna, this evening, you won't be back in the room in time, but there's a moth that's probably 4.5 inches long. We're not going to tell you about, but it's stuck in the room somewhere. But you'll get out of here and you won't even know about it. And if and when you ever view the pod, you can be pissed off.
She watches it.
me. She watches it.
She watched the
By
one already
stuck in
today.
the room, you mean like behind her headboard?
It's behind your headboard right
Yes.
now, Lorna. So
Don't
if
show
you
us
hear
the
any
kids.
rustling,
Don't show
Showing me
us the
pissed at
video.
me.
all right, we'll cut this
You
out.
guys put me on the couch tonight.
All right, check back in. Pod starts now. Talk about a bad break. One of our fellow Lemon lads, Kyle Keenan is key, sells houses in the tri-state area, New Jersey and Pennsylvania, is playing tomorrow in the Contender division, and I think he has 6 teams in his pool. Kyle, is it 6 or is it 5? It's 5. 4 of the 5 teams in his pool are teams that we play regularly at pickup, like weekly. That's kind of beat. What's your take on that?
Yeah.
I am not a fan of playing people that I know in tournaments. Not because it's like, oh, I play them all the time, I don't want to play them again. Because they know me.
Sure.
I think the main reason me and Jake lost to Dimitri and Bono, yes, they played out very well. Not going to discredit that at all. But they know us. And from a team that already doesn't have a lot of serve pressure, that sucks.
Just to clarify, you guys lost in 2, and it was like 21-12, right?
The first game was bad.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let's
but
just get
we,
that
we
out
kept
there.
it close game 2. Don't worry,
How
Mike.
close is that?
What's the best you've done
Okay.
this season?
Moving on.
What round did you make it to? this
Moving
season?
moving on. So Kyle is ready to take on his opponents tomorrow, but and go for a little premiere run maybe. So we'll see.
I think Kyle can sneak out some wins there. People are going to be like, oh, we play Kyle all the time. We're going to just be easy. And Kyle's going to whip out the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Kyle closes deals on the spike ring like he does deals for his homes that he sells, and he can't be stopped. So if Mr. Burkert,
Burkert, but it's Burkett
Burkett.
to the NJR community.
the NJR world, if Dan B gets his head out of his ass and plays the way he's capable of tomorrow, I think that Kyle is dangerous enough to get the deed done. So I'm going to play as long as I can tomorrow, but as soon as I am done, I have to admit I'm excited to get over and see Kyle run through round 2, round 3, and beyond, because he's also matches the hype energy that I like to bring. So watching him play, he gets hype after a freaking double fall. He's like, let's go, in their head.
He's the man. He's
Yeah.
the man when it comes to those mind games.
Yeah, for sure.
Also the #1 trash talker.
I still remember from Boston, our premier final game. And I didn't know Kyle too well then. But it was just, we're playing, and he's like 5 feet off the net. Like an observer,
literally, like,
breathing down our necks.
Yes.
And he's like, yeah, get him, Jake, get him.
And he's the
and
only
like,
spectator.
Who is this guy? He's literally the only one. He's closer to us than the observers were.
Yeah.
It was actually
And he was the
insane.
only spectator, and he was just screaming.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Who is
That
this
was
guy
fun. That was
breathing
great.
down my neck?
That was great. And then we lost, so didn't work, but...
No, you lost it.
Yeah, I said we lost.
Dubs.
Yeah.
But Jake didn't try, remember? Jake said he didn't try.
Jake never tried.
Yeah, he couldn't get up for it.
Yeah, he didn't try
That
when
was frustrating.
when he didn't recall Richmond too, huh?
No, we were both like, whatever,
It's not an excuse. Didn't try.
Didn't try at all.
Okay, Corey.
Didn't try and fill either.
Yeah, Corey.
Okay,
that
Corey.
sounds like something Corey would say.
Yeah.
But I want to touch on one thing because Dan Burkett and I have come a long way. He cursed at me one time at a pickup. He screamed "fuck you" to me one time at a pickup, and we become very good friends since then. So Dan B, if you watch the pod, I'm just messing. Like, you obviously don't have to do anything crazy. Keep serving. You played really good in, where were we, in Maryland? When he was like the 1 seed. Dan, keep firing. Come out with Kyle. Play confidently. Don't get down on yourself, because you sometimes lose like a mental battle, not even necessarily a battle to a team that's better than you. But if you listen to this, don't get pissed off at me again. I'm just kidding. It's all jokes. Good luck tomorrow.
That team's got a sneaky high ceiling.
They do.
For a contender division, it's kind of...
They
sneaky.
have potential.
For sure.
Kyle, do you know, if you don't know, could you look it up for me, what you guys are ranked tomorrow? Like, they're the 5 seed.
5 seed going into it.
They're the 5 seed of the whole contender pool.
All right,
You know what I mean? Like, let's go. Let's do it.
draw.
Let's do it. How about you, Mike? Take us on a journey. Give us the next pod topic, the next thing we can chat about for a little bit here. You have the floor.
On the spot.
Right now.
Give us some heat.
Your future with commentating.
Ooh, good
'Cause
question.
I know you may be back and forth on how serious you want to take it and how deep you want to dive into, commentating, because obviously your priority right now is still playing.
Yeah. My short answer is, if it were to never commentate again or never play again, I'd never commentate again, because I love playing right now, and I'd rather be known as, the guy who is dangerous to serve receive, and somebody that's making runs and getting better and getting further and further next year in the Premier Division, than the guy who commentated with Jonah in the final. It was badass and I enjoyed it, but I want to focus on the pod's cool, but I want to focus on my game.
Yeah.
I don't care so much about the commentating gig. It's fun, but it takes a little bit away from my grind of playing. And this is also an interesting piece. Somebody asked me the other day, because Jonah said, "Hey, maybe we build a little chemistry together, and you go on with me for the finals in the championships in Philadelphia." But like, when you commentate, you can't really watch, which is like, and if we have a potential to see Gabe and Fred in the finals, or even an exciting finals with like the storylines matching up, a rogue rematch with someone, or a potential Canadian team, like there's some cool storylines brewing. I kind of just want to enjoy it. And like, I have some family, my dad, my uncle, a couple of my cousins are coming that day to watch. Like, I want to hang with them, be able to answer questions, what's going on in the game, that kind of stuff. So I lean more towards the playing side. Although I enjoy the commentating, I wouldn't dive headfirst into it until I was closer to kind of being done, or if I felt like I had kind of reached my ceiling in a game.
Kind of related, but not related. That's how I feel with observing too. Like, even though I'm not like known as an observer, I was asked to, like, at last Nationals, I was asked to observe like women's semis, and I was like, I really would rather watch than observe, because when you're observing, you don't see any of the game.
You're certified?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Since when?
Wow, like over a year now.
So you really don't like observing?
I really don't want to
no
observe.
idea.
I really just want to watch, because it's a totally different game, watching versus observing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Favorite post-tourney meal?
Post-tourney meal? Like, that I've actually had, or like just a dream?
What is your dream post-tourney meal?
I really enjoy tacos.
Tacos are good.
So, probably tacos.
What's on the taco?
Well, ground beef with ground beef, obviously, of course, as I go to, and then just pile everything on there.
Everything.
So pretty much all the toppings you would eat with tacos, you would put them on there.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Loaded. How many?
How many?
Standard taco size. How many you got?
If it's that small, like 6.
Small. It's pretty big.
I feel like I'm used to torn tortilla or flour. Because flour, you can get
What do you prefer?
flour.
Okay.
You can get like this big. That's like the kind of size I prefer.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's big.
It's in line with Mike because I remember this. I'll never forget this, and it ended up being like true to myself too. One time I went to the gas station with Mike before pickup tourney. I don't even remember, and I was like, Mike, you come to the gas station. What's your snack of choice? And he goes like, I usually like to get like a big bag of Cheez-Its. And I was just like, all right, well, I know he likes Cheez-Its, but there were other options of things, and he's like, I like those things, but I'd rather have a snack that makes me full than one that like I like.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's so true.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm like the same way.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, well, long story, but yeah, I'm the same way.
That love for cheese is actually the inspiration behind our team name this weekend.
Really?
Cheesin'.
But also because we smile a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So it was cheesin' because we're just happy guys.
Right.
And then I spelled it in the way of Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
Got you with the Z.
It's clever.
Got you. Did you spell it with a Z? No.
I did, of course.
Yeah,
He did,
okay. Cool.
But you forgot to put the LL in front of it, I remembered.
I can put the LL in front of it.
Yeah, let's throw that in there because
course.
that is going to be, for
Gotta
all the
rep.
lads watching, it is going to become a mandatory fixture in the team name if it's dual lemon lad,
Yeah.
not if it's
a
just
full
single.
lemon squad.
Right. Even like you guys who are like a little bit more well known of a team, as in Come and Go, when he plays with Jacob, they're going to put LL in front of their team name, LL Come and Go, so people kind of know, where you guys are
I like
coming
that
from
look.
and stuff. Yeah, it's a good look when it's a team.
It shows like a real community when you do that. Like a lot of the Midwest guys did GFT, which is unknown. If you know, you know, kind of thing.
That's a mystery.
Yeah.
It's a big mystery.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that.
I've been seeing a lot of CRO recently.
That's crypto. That's a Canadian.
Yeah.
Like
Like there's like
CRO.
8 teams signed up. I don't know last tournament.
Yeah, up in
A lot of CRO.
Ontario, in like the Mississauga area,
Yeah.
they have that.
And what does it stand for?
Crypto. That was their
CRO
sponsor.
just stands for crypto.
Their sponsor was Crypto.com.
Last year.
Yeah, so they
Whoa.
got jerseys and stuff, and
Good for them. That's
Real
freaking
good for them.
badass. Yeah. We were talking, and we'll have to talk off air. Air? Yeah. We won't.
air.
We'll talk. Yeah, off air.
off the line.
Off the lines.
Off the pod.
Off the
Off
potty.
the slice. Off the squeeze.
I like that
Off
one
the
better.
squeeze.
Off the squeeze.
But we have some potential sponsors and ideas for sponsors for the podcast.
Yeah.
Where we drop like, hey, the pod's brought to you by fill in the blank, and they help us with X, Y, and Z, and we use their stuff and or wear their stuff, or talk about the quality of their product. So we have some cool stuff with people being interested in sponsoring the podcast, which is cool.
And if you or anybody you know might be interested in sponsoring us, reach out to us.
Yeah, we're
open.
We're at the ground floor right now of something that could potentially be big with the sport moving in this sort of trajectory. So like now would be the time to hop on with our gang, because we don't have like a finish line either for us. We're like just playing because we love it.
It's up from here.
All over
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Without a
Yes,
doubt.
sir.
Yeah, man. I mean, we are going to be tournament-wise only at the championships after this and the Christmas Classic. I'm trying to think of when would be like with other people that may watch the pod. Tomorrow and the Christmas Classic championships. Those are the only 3?
No, we're gonna try. I want to try and get some New Jersey fall tournaments out there,
Ooh.
just to give us something in the fall before the championship. Because other than that, after Connecticut, we're kind of just beat.
Yeah.
Give us something competitive, just to get us keep us in season.
Yeah.
I don't want to get us out of season yet. So hopefully a tournament soon.
Right. That's
And definitely after the championship too.
Okay.
We got to keep us off during the off season as well.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I think that right now, if I could talk negatively about NJR at all, it would be we need to do a better job at promoting and getting and signing up and getting up for these tournaments.
Yes.
Because
agree.
yeah,
There's
go
nobody
ahead.
signs up.
Right.
Like
It is tough.
we have a huge community with people popping out of pickup, like tons of heads, and then we have a tournament and nobody signs up.
It's tough.
And
It's tough
then,
to it's
like,
tough to
canceled-
get it
You
going.
canceled 2, haven't you?
I did cancel a couple.
Which is crazy because
It
like,
is,
New
it's
Jersey pickup, New Jersey around that, the scene has been expanding so much, but for some reason that has not.
Translated.
A lot of
Translated
people,
tournaments.
I think I found that a lot of people just like to play for fun, and as soon as you make it a little bit competitive, some people just like to back out of it.
Yeah.
And I would like to get as many people as possible. Like we had that one tournament with ERS
Oh, okay.
that we had 2 divisions at.
Is that when it poured?
That was when it poured.
Yeah.
It was unlucky, but that was our biggest turnout, and it was a good turnout. We ended up for two divisions, and as far as I know, everybody had fun except for the weather.
Yeah.
And I know you're big in the grind of getting these intermediate guys up there, which is huge.
Yeah,
for this
I
season.
had to, I didn't have enough space. I had like 23 teams, and by the last week I turned like 5 teams away because I was just
Really?
worried about not having enough parking because it took place at one of my best friend's houses. It was just like, so we used like a huge plot of land at their house, and we actually could have held more teams, but this upcoming off season we're going to run it back and have a part 2, but we're actually going to do it at like a facility, and we're going to blow it up
That's
with
awesome.
like teams of players that are like not like low like anywhere to contender, up till contender level, honestly, because or maybe advanced, we'll see. Maybe we have 2 divisions. What I was going to say about the NJR, only thought that I had was maybe we just make it cheaper.
I think that's
Because
also
your
a
turning,
big thing.
your turning was free.
My
The one
turning
you
was
did,
free.
right?
Yeah.
So
Do you
it's
think
like,
like a facility would it still be free even if it's at a facility then?
well, I was going to do something with them, and my buddy here is in the room too, Pat Fazzio. We were going to do something with this soccer club near us and do like a day where we go out with kids and like talk about it in the community. We know some people in the community, like in the township, and do like a day where we have like a round net day. And kids can come out because they already have kids that play in rec league soccer leagues right there, and do like a round net day where we come out and we do like some how-tos, maybe have like Gabe show up or something, so it's like kind of cool, and do like a how-to day, and then see if they'll in return let us use the facility for a big tournament.
I think
Because the
the
place
big-
is big. Where did we play the other night?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the biggest thing
that
for
place? Yeah, that's
for these intermediate, like for these tournaments to grow 'em, you got to get the intermediate and the advanced guys out there.
Right.
And honestly,
Without them, the tournament is hard to run.
the idea that it's free too is like that's huge because
It
it's
is
like
huge.
they're showing up for a good time. They're
It's
not
tough to
showing
make
up
a
stress
tournament
out.
free though,
No, it
like-
is.
especially with something like NGR, because we're trying to grow it, and we do need some funds. Like we
Yeah.
want to get T-shirts done. We got jerseys done. We have to pay for the designs. We have to pay for the logo,
Right.
paint. We want to supply waters and snacks. We don't want to just like leave it hang and dry.
Yeah.
I
So-
think that if we have
But we
enough
could-
for 2 divisions, $20 per
Definitely
team,
cheaper.
$10 a person is more than okay. I think we'll double the amount of teams, maybe triple
Yeah.
that sign up.
We'll
You
definitely
see
try it out, especially during the off season.
in the off season,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
We have to grow before we can start charging a lot.
100%. It has to like now they're raking us over the coals $120 to go to a tournament, and they say, oh, well, sign up sooner. Well, I'm not sure if I can make it sooner. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? What am I gonna do? Sign up? What are you, crazy?
I guess the idea there is you do the free agent list, but I guess not all tourneys have that option.
Well,
But I know
free-
that's something I have not like taken advantage of, but I should, because you can free agent list almost every tourney, and then you can just not go. But then when you decide to pay,
you get locked in at
you
that
get-
price
you get-
point.
which as far as I understand it, which I don't take advantage of, and I should. But I
That's a
think-
good segue into this next question I got.
Okay.
How do you guys feel, Josh especially, with playing with random mashups? This is your first random mashup
Right.
this weekend.
But it's not totally random.
I
'Cause you know the guy.
It's semi-random.
played against them.
But it's not like you've never met him before.
Yeah, that's fair.
Random enough so that you don't play with him.
Yeah, we've never
It's
stepped
not
on
from
the.
your community. You know him because you've seen him at tournaments, and the community's so small that everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
So, what
Yeah.
do you think, Josh?
Well, and Mike can answer too because he ended up doing this last year with someone he knew
In
little about,
Columbus,
Stephen
right?
Sweeney.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, I'm very excited. Josh had a very good result in Columbus, going 6-0 in his pool play, and then losing to the team mids, Dawson Morgan, and Cummings, right? When
Yeah.
that mids, Dawson Morgan is like, if I look down right there, his bed's like right there. So Josh, I'm gonna knock a little bit on the floor here. We'll keep him up. We'll get that revenge for us. But yeah, he did really good, and I know he's a solid player, so I'm excited. But like defense and talking about those sorts of things that we're gonna have to kind of figure out on the fly, not our plan, but sort of like the spots and knowing where each other's gonna be. I'm going into tomorrow to have fun, to compete, but I don't have, my expectations are certainly a touch lower than if I were to go in and play with either of you guys.
Yeah. Truthfully, last year when I decided to go to Ohio like super last minute, I matched up with, or I played with Stephen Sweeney, who I met in Boston. What my experience was, it's just when you're playing with someone you've never played with before, it's like, I feel like we almost spent the whole day trying to figure out like chemistry and how to, because we had such 2 different playing, it was like, we had massively different playing styles, and that ended up just like almost the whole day. That's like what was holding us back. It's just we had no chemistry. Like almost we had negative chemistry.
I'm big on chemistry.
Yeah.
Big.
That's like such an underrated
chemistry.
aspect, I feel like, of round net.
I said that.
There's so
I
many
said that
mashup
last
teams.
podcast. Yeah.
There's so many mashup teams, and I feel like chemistry is so huge.
You always see the guys playing together come out on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
It's true. It's true.
Okay. Another question for you. What is your least favorite tournament experience so far?
Now that I've had a little bit of time to reflect, I'd say, so the tournament last Philly Major would be my least favorite. I mean, the tournament was a blast, but me and Jake choked in quarters in Contender to qualify for Premier. We played terrible. Like,
Because that was last year. It was top 4 get Premier at.
This is a major, so technically.
Last year Philly was a major.
Oh yeah, duh.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
But it was top 4.
It was top 4, and we were.
So if you won quarters,
we would have been
Premier.
Yeah.
This was your first run at a Premier.
This is our
was your
first time
Premier
in
game?
quarters, like first chance at all, and like we were crushing kids like the entire day, we weren't even trying.
Yeah.
I think that's actually what was our downfall, is that we had no challenge or no game that even got us going, and so we actually got to our first real challenge in quarters. We just fell apart, and it was just so bad. We played terrible, and
I just remember me and Corey being so jealous of your guys' runs and pools all throughout last year. Because
Yeah,
you guys had the
really
easiest pools. You guys would go
This guy.
undefeated in pools, and you guys get an easy bracket up until the quarters, and you guys choked every single time. But that's besides the point.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
So really what happened was we would just always do well in pool play, and that would give us an easy bracket run. But you guys just couldn't match that performance in pool play.
Nah,
You got to figure that out in Boston. But yeah. So really, we just looking back on it, we were so bad. Like, we felt like we were good at the time, but looking back on it, like, me and Jake were garbage round net players in that we didn't have a defensive scheme. We were just running around. And I remember like Bono telling us, oh, they're pulling it every time, just stand there. But we didn't even have a scheme, so it wasn't like someone was covering their pool, which is ridiculous to think about now. And that's how we were playing. So it's still. So it was a really terrible series, and I was like so distraught afterwards.
Is that what you think the difference maker was from Boston to Philly? That did you start using some scheming? And
Yeah,
some,
we realized that we were just running around like chickens with our heads cut off. Like, Jake was naturally good at defense, but at a certain point when he was going for everything and I was going for everything, it just that fell apart. And I feel like that's like a transition a lot of players make when they're starting to realize oh, this is how the game is played. You have to have some intention with where you're moving, and it's not always about seeing the hit and going after it, but more just eliminating angles and taking away places they can go before it even happens. And we had no idea about that concept. So yeah, but obviously we figured it out.
That's good. It's always good to figure it out.
It is. Are you wanting me to answer your question?
You can answer it.
My least favorite tournament was last year, the Columbus Major.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Well,
My favorite tournament ever for the hangs and the chills and the vibes was also Columbus Major of last year.
Okay.
So it was twofold, but the play was difficult because I was going through the motions of not practicing a ton, not getting the good reps, not getting serving practice by myself, and just going into contender tournament after tournament with my bro Ryan Paul and not making many adjustments, and just basically the definition of, I think it's just stupidity, which is just doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yes.
Yeah, and we were so gung-ho each tournament, this is the one, we deserve this, and we just didn't. And yeah, so I was pissed off. We ended up getting through the first round. We went 1-4 in pool play, and then we played an undefeated team in the first round of bracket. They were 6-0, and we beat them because we still had quality, but we did have zero consistency. And yeah, so then we lost the next round terribly. What's that?
I said you had no concept, none. I was just emphasizing your point.
No, we should emphasize this. You should just loop this. We had no consistency. And so we lost the second round to two guys from Virginia who were admittedly pretty good.
The Hawaiian shirts, right?
Hawaiian shirts, they were pretty good. And so I just got a little pissed off at them. They were slightly annoying, but we've come to terms. But so that was it. My least favorite tournament. But then all of my day flipped on a dime when I got to see the Gabe and who was he playing with?
Madison Powers.
Powers kid play against Double Clutch, and that game was still my favorite game to watch. I happened to be there live to see it. I've watched it back on YouTube. It's the most badass round net game that has ever been, individual game that has ever been played. So if you haven't seen it, go search it. Funaki Powers versus Double Clutch.
It's electric.
It's
so electric.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's like it's my video when I'm just like talk to a friend or someone new or a family member that's just like, what's the deal with this game? Like, oh, like, do you want to see it played at the highest level? Watch this.
It pains me that it ended on a no-hit zone violation though. The series because the rally was still going on, and Double Clutch was like in a spot to take the ball or to receive, like to get a touch on it, and the rally. It's tough.
Gabe's an idiot. Gabe's an idiot. How dare he? Okay, so that was your favorite set or game you've ever watched.
Yes.
What is your favorite series you've ever watched?
That's
if you want to think about it, I got mine right away.
Go, let me think.
So, Texas championship last year. Was this semifinals? Yeah, semis or quarters. Semifinals. Swervy versus Assistive Touch. With the sunset in the background, you got the whole crowd watching. This electric 3-game series, AT coming back for both their wins from down like a 1917. I think there was like a 6-point deficit at one point earlier in the game.
Jeez.
And the rallies, the quality of play was the best, most electric scene I've ever been involved in.
Wow.
Watching that live was insane. Watching it back on YouTube is amazing.
Wow.
The fact that we can go back and watch that is just huge.
That's sick. Do you have one, Mike? Because I have mine.
Yeah, I was thinking the Philly Challenger last year, Cigar Boys versus FM. That was really, really fun series. I mean, incredibly intense. Like, I think multiple games went to extras with like layout sets, layout dives, like balls to the wall.
Match was everywhere.
Like the point, like every point was like, they're going all out to stay alive, and FM fell short, but it was still awesome to watch.
I was a huge fan of that because of how defensive heavy it was.
Yeah, it was a blast. I didn't really I feel like that was kind of a turning point. I mean, not like that game specifically, but like I know there was discussion of like, oh, the game's too serve heavy. I feel like that series really showed that like this game can be like if you're athletic enough, this game can be rally heavy for sure.
My favorite series of all time, and it's hard to be put on the spot, so it's just like the first one that comes to mind, is actually when I started to first actually stay at the tournaments and watch the games, was Bazinga last year playing in Atlanta versus Funaki and Modell, actually. And Bazinga actually beat them, I believe, in 2. So there wasn't a ton of up and down, but it was the Bazinga fans and the Bazinga Florida hometown. There must have been 50 of them, traveled so well, and it was a little bit of that, like, Bazinga shouldn't beat them kind of feel, but they upset them, so it was like that underdog thing. And that the whole series was electric. Anytime they did anything, I'm talking about like 50 people at minimum would stand and like scream for them. And I was just like, dude, this is crazy. So that series start to finish, the level of hype with that was really, really powerful. It was cool.
The fans make a series. They make or break a series.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, imagine that Funaki Powers versus Double Clutch game without the ring of people.
Yeah,
Emerson
that's
holding
true.
20 shoes in his hand.
That's true.
Just imagine the difference.
That's true. Damn. So listen, I think that what we should do is we should transition over.
Yes.
We should let Pat hop in, get to pick his brain for a little bit, and we could even cut this wherever we'd like to cut this and piece it all up. But yeah. And then we'll let Pat. What time is it now? What time we got?
Like
11:51.
Okay, let's.
It's not 8 p.m.
Nope.
No, let's bring Pat on, and when we're done here, we'll head to bed.
Wait, Michael, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow. Hopefully,
Good luck to you tomorrow.
Yeah, we gotta kick ass tomorrow.
I guess you have to do well too as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks
Go
for
get it.
coming
Let's
on.
go.
all right.
All right, now after that break, after we just got a little bit of hype from the boys in the room, we got Kyle Keenan, hype man himself, as we just mentioned earlier, hyping us up, telling how entertaining we are, and now we gotta bring it back down, and we gotta focus up, and we got the man. We got the one and only. Why am I even introducing this
Who
kid?
the hell's knocking?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, knock on the door is fine. We have the one and only, one of my best friends from home, Patrick, the man, Fazzio.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, dude. I've been wanting to have you on here for a while. This is just the beginning, just a little intro here for you. We talked about on episode 7 about who were some of the most handsome players in the sport of round net. I think you're in the top 10. And no one even knows you yet because you're still playing advanced into Contender.
I mean, I've been waiting since February to get on this pod.
Talk to me.
Because I remember you invited Jay on.
Yes.
And I was kind of like, you just met Jay, like, a month ago, and you're inviting him on your pod, like, and then you name drop me and you talk shit a little bit. So it's cool. It's cool.
We can settle this now if you want.
It's too tight and it's too hot in here.
It's a little hot.
Let's put the AC on. I'm ready.
No, I don't want to mess with this guy.
All right.
Dude, I have a funny story about Pat, and we can get into it more. You played with my fiance Amanda, who we're all friends from home. We played. They played together in the tournament in where the hell were we?
Virginia.
Yeah, no, Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
Northern Virginia. And it was funny because Ryan Paul, the Lemon, knows Pat, but just a little bit, but he knows him. And Pat was playing with Amanda, and he had his shirt off at the time playing. And Pat's one of them, like, gym bros. So he's like your boy John. He's, like, cut up like John. And he was, like, real chiseled, and he's sweating and shit. And Ryan saw Pat, and he goes, like, he's playing with my fiance Amanda, and he's like, are you totally comfortable with this? And it was so funny. It was so funny. I was like, yeah, dude, we're all bros and stuff. But yeah, I don't remember talking shit when I had Jay on there. Although if you're saying I believe
it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
But you were saying, like, the first time I came out to play.
Ooh.
You were kind of saying, like, this kid's never going to be good.
I did say that.
You have a hint of, like,
I did. I doubted you, bro, and you have proved me wrong tenfold. But you're absolutely right. So to give everybody a little context on Pat, Pat lives about 10 minutes from me at home in South Jersey here. Works full time. Where do you work, bro? Steel mill.
Yes.
Where the hell do you work? Steel yard. He works at a steel yard. This man's hands are always dirty because he just works. Yeah, he works with his hands. But whenever anyone's like, "Damn, Pat's like a hard-working man," I just know he just practices serving a lot. And so that's what I tell people that meet him in the spike ball community. So if you see Pat at a tournament, his hands are dirty, that's because he's just practicing a lot of serves in his backyard. Right.
Yeah,
just
getting
grinding.
the cuts.
Just getting the cuts. So Pat Wright is playing tomorrow with one of our friends from home in the advanced division. And what are your expectations, or do you have expectations going into tomorrow?
I think it's going to go pretty good. I played Contender in Philly with Kyle Keenan, although we didn't have the best day, but, like, towards the end there, we kind of, like, got stuff together. And the one thing I can take from that tournament was I got a handful of aces on some pretty good players, that I'm not so used to playing against, because really I'm really used to, like, playing, like, low end pickups.
Yeah.
I've just started getting into, like, more like high level play. So if I can translate that into advance, I think I shouldn't have a problem.
I agree with you. I think that, well, I talk to Kyle often, and I remember him talking to me at that tournament after, and I said, hey, Kyle, like, give it to me straight. How did Pat do? And he was just like, there were moments where it was just like, you could tell that it was his first Contender tournament, but he said that you also had a few runs where you scored like 4 or 5 points in a row on serves just because you hit with a lot of power. And again, a very, very dangerous jam at any level is still a good serve.
Yeah,
like, it really is.
Felt good.
Yeah, you would agree, right?
Oh, for sure. It's so underrated, especially in, like, the pro level. You hardly see jams anymore. It's like, just because I feel like people get so used to the hand motion of taking that ball, grabbing it, coming over it, coming under it. I hear that it's harder for people to jam because of how well they are. They know that hand motion.
Sure.
But like Gabe was telling me about Columbus, how Fred didn't utilize the jam enough when that was his most powerful serve that he was hitting with and he was most consistent with, and he just didn't use it enough. He was going for the cut, ripping cuts, and it wasn't working as well. Versus if you were just go back to that trusty jam, probably would have done better.
True.
Now, Pat, this being your first competitive year in round net, what are your goals for next season? Are you going to play next season?
become a lemon lad. What are you talking about? Nah, he does a good job. Like, you know, just he's like the dad who doesn't give me any like accolades and appreciation. You know, like at first it was like the Ludus, our group, and I already climbed the ranks and like, you know, proved myself there. And I'm like, hey, Dad, look at me. You know, I'm playing better. And now it's just like, oh, what about these guys? You know, you're not there yet. So it's just like, okay, I'm climbing the stage. I'm starting to get there. I have a pretty good mindset, and it's like, even though the game's like a team game, I have like a list of like people I'm close to, and like every pickup, I'm like, I make it, you know, just a goal to try to be at par or better than certain people.
Yeah.
Just to continue, you know, scaling the ranks, and you know, just try to put myself in a better like round net
mindset.
Yeah.
Like mindset or just status, you know.
Understood. Now he asked you about next year specifically. Go into next year a little bit specifically. Divisions, potential partners. Do you want to play X number of tournaments? Just the majors, just the ones close to home? Where will people see you next year, tournament wise, if at all?
I mean, if I'm free, I'm down to just, you know, go wherever.
Cool.
I think the biggest challenge is just making sure I can prove myself and just, you know, be the best I can so people want to play, you know. Like, I don't want, like, I feel like it's a weird groove where I'm at. It's like there's not enough people my level who are interested in, you know, running advance or want to say, hey, let's team up and let's grind and let's really, like, try to get to a contender level. Like, there's a handful of people who are in the contender division, like fighting for Premier, but it's just there's not enough advanced players who are making that push. You know?
Would a season partner be your ultimate goal, or would you kind of want to match up and feel around and feel the atmosphere a little bit and try and find your way into the contender division?
I think for right now, until like I know I'm capable of making Premier, I'm good on like making a solid teammate. Like, I would rather just show up to the pickups and, you know, prove myself worthy and just link up with different people who are also like about to like break the boundary of going into a contender. You know?
For sure.
But
you think those little goals that you have made of you wanting to match that guy above you or try and play better and outperform that guy above you think those little goals are ultimately making you a better player and every day?
Yeah, I think so. Because it's just, you know, I feel like, and I don't want to make this like I'm not attacking nobody, but I feel like it's real easy for someone to, you know, not think about what they need to work on, and I kind of see that, and I can pinpoint someone and be like, oh, like they're putting a lot of focus on this when, you know, they're not doing this. So if I just put all my efforts into just being a well-rounded player, like, you know, I can pass them in no time, you know. And it's not personal. It's just the way I'm competitive, just the way I see sports, you know.
That's that drive.
But
yeah, Pat's some guy that'll send you like inspirational quotes. You know, carry the boat, David Goggins, that's like the kind of guy he is. So even like he brought up with me that I keep, like, I don't give him a ton of flowers. I more or less keep like moving the finish line for him because he works better under that kind of pressure. He works better when he's like, oh, I'll show you. Then I'll show you. I'll prove it to you then. So yeah, it's not because you're not kicking ass, bro.
Well, enough about me. I got a question for you guys.
All right, let's go.
You guys are, you know, pretty high-level players. At what point, you know, from when you bought a round net, were you like, you know,
bought a what?
Bought a round net.
Bought a round net.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna
like a round net set.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
bought a round.
Oh, he doesn't want to say. He doesn't want to say.
Yeah,
he really likes the PS, the Premier's fun.
Yeah.
Hey, we have no ties.
Yeah, I know.
We have no ties here.
True.
We can dive in if we want to. Okay, your question. Keep going.
You know, initially when you buy the set, it's kind of just like, oh, this would be fun to play on the beach. And, you know, I don't know the experience because, like, he got me into the competitive scene, like, instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, at what point were you like, damn, I'm trying to, you know, hop in this and try to compete?
try to compete?
Yeah, just be like, okay, I'm gonna try to play competitive spike ball.
Okay, so it didn't take. I saw the thing for the first time like in like 2018. Took a couple, just played in the summer, and then 2021, like the second half of the year, I started to get very competitive with it, and it really all triggered after my first tournament and meeting Kyle Keenan, Jake Mott, and that was really the takeoff point for me. So it was just playing in the tournament, and that's what triggered it.
And that was, you met them through the spike ball app thing.
Yeah,
right?
I met him through the spike ball app.
Is that still a thing, or?
I don't know. Is this
It
still
is.
a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who uses that thing?
It goes up every once in a while. A lot of the advanced intermediate guys
Right.
who don't really know what group they're in or don't really know about the groups and all
Right.
the discords and all the group chats out there, they'll go to the spike ball app a lot. Yeah. I would say for the I actually never purchased my first round net. My brother had a set, and I actually made fun of him for playing this stupid game where you're playing volleyball on the ground all the time with his friends because he was obsessed with it, and it took me forever, basically up until late high school, where I actually bought my buddy a set. I didn't even own a set at first, so he was like the guy we hang out with all the time. We're always at his house. Got him a set. We played it. I didn't think anything of it except for just a stupid yard game.
Right.
And then went to college. That's when I was like, okay, people play this seriously. There's this fat kid named Corey Weiss who took it way too seriously. And I was just like, what the hell is this guy doing? Sweating on all these freshmen who's just trying to have fun. And then, but no, since then, he introduced the idea of a tournament to us right before COVID. COVID hit, ruined it. Soon as COVID cleared up, 2021 Nationals comes, brings up the idea of a tournament again, and then we go and play it, and it was just, I don't know where the competitive scene sparked, and it was like, wow, this is a blast. It's like addicted on the spot. It's crazy.
How about you?
I mean, like I said, like you invited me out to the, first pickup,
Mhm.
and I think you and Ant were probably the only season,
Yeah.
But at first, like Ant was really trying to I'm just like, nah, I don't know if I had the time to like really try to get good at something like this and travel for these tournaments and stuff like that. But that first pickup, like, just all fresh blood just showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little sloppy, people weren't good, some people had the knack for it, but after like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
the serving pressure started getting better, and going back to like, the competitive part of it, like, you never want someone to, especially someone who just started playing with you, to, you're like, damn, this kid's like over 1 week he's, advancing this much,
Right.
I'll name drop like Jay.
Jay.
He's a big inspiration for me to like keep on grinding.
Yeah.
Because we started playing the same time. He picked it up a little quicker just because, he's a little more, I guess, athletically coordinated, like from soccer,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you had to work for it. You worked
Yeah.
for it more. Let me ask you this. I think this is a good question because there'll be some listeners and people out there that are in a similar boat to where you were like a couple months ago. What would your message be to people that are A, just learning the game, and B, trying to figure out whether they should play an intermediate, advanced, and how to go about the process of navigating the two, ultimately getting to contender, so people that aren't contender ready?
I think like if you just want to come, if you're just playing for fun, I highly recommend an intermediate, bracket. It's kind of tough because some people don't belong in there; they belong in advance. So they
That's a good point.
They get an easy win, but it's all about the fun. Just show up. It brings back the high school days of like, doing a wrestling tournament or, in just a competitive sports team.
Yeah.
Just, it's cool to be in like a playoff scene,
Mhm.
but the step to advance, if you're just, consistent, you're serving good, I think the intermediate jump should be pretty quick,
If you're playing consistently.
Yeah,
And
if you're good, don't stay in intermediate just to beat on kids,
Right.
Because that should be the bracket for like the learning curve.
Yeah, you
know?
find a lot of those sandbaggers in those lower divisions because it's just like they don't think they're good enough for the next one.
Yeah.
But then they're just playing these tournaments and then winning these tournaments. I was like, oh, we keep winning. But I don't think I could. I'm too scared to go to the next one. But it's like,
kind of dumb.
ultimately, the fastest way to get better is to make that jump and play in a higher division. That's just seeing higher level competition in a tournament, totally different than pickup. You will get better. You'll see how you
learn
play
on the fly
in a tournament atmosphere, and it's just so much better for getting better, quicker.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you've made like some really, really impressive strides. As long as you continue in the off season and keep moving forward, I think that the Contender division next year is something that you should definitely be pushing to play in. If we play all off season, you probably should just jump right into it. Even if you don't have a ton of success right away, you can at least get your feet wet, see the areas where you have to get better.
I think I'll be pretty seasoned by then.
I do too. I do too.
Maybe not out the gate, winning first bracket and whatnot, like, baby steps at a time.
Yeah, that would be electric, though.
That'd be crazy.
Coming in out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Advanced division last year, first Contender tournament.
And you just pop off.
2024. Pat Fazzio, premier
Pat
qualifier.
Faz.
I think, all right, if I have to set a goal right now, mid-season next year,
Okay.
you guys are going to be begging me to be a lemon lad.
Let's go.
You're going to be knocking on my door. I'm not going to,
Right. Are you going to turn
decline.
us? Are you going to turn us away?
Yeah, I kind of have an idea to do like something with orange peels, but
Nah,
I'm kidding.
Oh,
But-
shit.
No, it's just those little things, like, because when it's all said and done, like the games, it's serious, but it's not. It comes down to fun, and it's a little bit of excitement to like set a little bit of a goal or accolade to achieve that, premiere or even to be a lemon lad or to show up to New Jersey pickup and just
Get some wins.
and bust on some people that last year were giving me the heat.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'd be nice, so people start hitting me up like, yo, I'm trying to run a tournament with you. What's good? I feel like right now it's like I got a little bit to prove, and I think I'm ready to do that. But
there's
Absolutely.
no better feeling than people reaching out to you, not just for tournaments, but for pickups, for and even just coming over saying it's like, wow, you impressed me today.
yeah,
You've made a long way since last month when I saw you play.
I don't knock on wood. I hope Kyle Keenan gets premiered tomorrow. But
Let's go.
Yeah, we're all rooting for
That's
you,
hype.
bro.
we might have to run it back and seal the deal.
Yeah, if Kyle doesn't have it by 2024 and he trains all off season, you never know. You never know what could happen, because who the heck knows? I do think Kyle's got a chance tomorrow to really shake it up, but if he gets a ton of bad luck or something crazy happens, then who knows? Maybe next season he takes you under his wing and just dominates. Awesome. So it was a blast having Pat Faz on, just for you to hop on for a little bit here. It's getting late as we're gonna take it down here and head to bed for the tournament tomorrow. We all have a big day. We'll get you on the pod for a longer episode and stuff, but we're all here, and you were one of the ones who was like, hell yeah, I'll get on there. So it was great. You gave me a little bit of sass, which I always love, and I appreciate you coming on.
Love you,
bro.
brother.
Love you too.
No, I
bro.
love hearing perspectives of these newer guys coming in and playing in our community. It's just eye-opening, and it's just inspirational.
Yep.
Makes me want to go out and just try harder now.
It
Knowing
does.
these guys are grinding, making the waves that they're doing.
Yeah.
Keep
And
doing it.
I think we have a challenge ahead. I think it's try to invite and get some new players coming.
Definitely.
We should each try and bring 2 new people to a pickup. We should make a challenge for one person that's brand new to a pickup one of these weekends that we go out and be like new person day or some crazy shit.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. But listen, we're gonna wrap this up. We're here, P5s, a future lemon lad, or a future orange peel, depending on how you want to slice it.
We'll see.
And we're taking it down. We'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, later.
You strong.